Today I am testing the Model Y. It's a Dutch one and I keep going around to the wrong side of the car to get in because it's left hand drive. Welcome to the Next Gear Show. As regular viewers will know, I normally start my reviews at a charge point when it comes to an electric car. But in this one, I don't really need a charge point because, well, it's a Tesla and they're okay. So usually these charge points just aggravate me because some of them work, some of them don't. Sometimes they're 50 kilowatts, sometimes they're 150 kilowatts, sometimes they're 50. Some cars don't charge full speed. All that disappears somehow when you get into the magical world of how Tesla work. You see, range anxiety, depending on the kind of car you're in, is actually a real thing. I know a lot of people will tell you, range anxiety, blah, 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 but it actually is a real thing. But it doesn't seem to exist so much in Tesla because I tell you how much you're going to use to get there and how much you're going to use to get home again. So, you know, I could wax lyrical about, the advantages of CCS over Chatham over CCS, but all this becomes a kind of a moot point because, well, Tesla use their own kind of system. And that's really because Tesla has been sort of a law to itself in the electric car market because it's always kind of made up its own rules, done its own thing, made its own cars. It's done all that and everybody's criticised them and tried to bring them down, but realistically, they're pretty good at surviving. This is a Dutch version of the Model Y. We're going to have a drive of this now. So you generally notice when you get into any Tesla that they're already started, right? As soon as you open the door, they start up. And that's quite normal. Now, to actually start it, I don't have the Tesla app, the access to the other little bits that would be in the app. So for me, I just put the key card here and the car will start up. This one has not got Wi-Fi on it. And it is a Dutch version of this car. So I'm on the wrong side of the car for Ireland, right? Now, what I want to get into your mind here is this is a sort of a big Model 3. That's what you're looking at now. It is a Model X with normal doors on the back or a Model 3 with a liftback. So instead of a saloon, it's a hatchback. So let's set off on you and start driving. Tesla for me has always been weird. The early Model S hadn't got great suspension. It wasn't deadly now, I have to say. It got better over time, but it never really quite got up to the standard of its competition. And so in a way, early Model S's were sort of dismissed because the suspension was quite crashy and hard to do it. But Model 3 changed all that. Model 3 really upped the game of what Tesla was doing. And then Model 3, so then you had the Model S, the Model X, the Model 3, and now the Model Y, which if you put them in the right order spells sexy. In the element of, it's good fun, yeah. In a sort of a German geeky sort of way. That's actually the way fun works. Now, for some reason, my heated steering wheel is on and I can't find a way to turn it off and it's burning me at times. It's very hot in places. One thing I will say for this is it is, even in standard mode, so I'm in right now, even in standard mode, not behind me, go. It's still pretty quick. Like that is nice and quick and brisk up to that 100 kilometer an hour limit, which is very nice. Now I have to keep an eye on the mirror over there because I'm on the wrong side of the car and I'm on this side of the road here. But I can just go down twice, a bit of autopilot turned on, and away she goes. And then you scroll up to the actual speed limit, which is there. And the car kind of takes over at this point. Now I will ask you to put your hand back on the wheel. It is a little bit oversensitive. Too much of a twist on the wheel and it knocks it off. Heated steering wheel is really hot. Am I missing something here? No, that's not it. That's not it. Auto. It's AC. Ah, there it is. Off. Burn. I have the heated seats on because I'm quite cold, but I wanted to get the heated steering wheel off because that's too hot. There's a McDonald's claim in that one. Anyway, I can navigate. Then if I get rid of that thing, you can see the navigation comes up here. You can actually see what's happening on the road in front of me. There's a Jeep Land Rover Defender out in front of me right now. It's counting out as a car. It's keeping its distance. It looks further away on that screen than it is in real life, though. It is like right there in front of me. It's not tailgating or anything. This doesn't have lane changer, so if you indicate, it knocks off the autopilot. That's essentially what's going on there. You do your overtaking maneuver, which you can do like that, and then you can pull back in at your leisure, and when you want to, press down twice and you re-engage autopilot. It is an effortless drive. I have to say, it's such an easy car to just waft along the road, even at higher speeds. It just gets on with the job. If you're not in a hurry, this is every bit the luxurious kind of drive as well. Like, this does feel it. But I want to get something out of the way, and this is the complaints I've had since Model 3. Actually, it's complaints I've had about all Teslas, and generally speaking, most modern sort of vehicles that are out there as well. For some reason, and I get it, they put in this one big screen, and everything you want to do is in a screen. There are no buttons. There are two wheels here that are multifunction wheels on the dashboard or on the steering wheel. Behind that, I have windshield wipers and gears, and then the autopilot. That's about it. That's all the controls that are attached to the car. Everything else has to be gotten through these series of menus down here if you want to adjust anything. The speed is contained in the top corner of the screen, so it's not a big look down. So is all the traffic information, and my range is all up here. What could have solved all this and all that and all the effort of this and even the criticism is a heads-up display. It really wouldn't be that difficult to put a heads-up display out there. Why not, sure? Why not? Why not put one there? It could show me my speed, and you could make better use of this stuff here if you had a heads-up display there. So easy, so nice. Other than that, there really isn't a lot of criticism here. The effort of driving from place to place, if you set a destination that's further than the range can do, it'll just route you by a supercharger. And Ireland now has, I think it's 3 or maybe 4 superchargers that are open and running. One is quite near where I live, about 30 minutes from my house, a supercharger, and believe it or not, there's always cars at it. And slowly but surely, I'm starting to see more and more electric cars on the road. And I've driven multiple electric cars this year. The main competitor, I would feel, to this car right now is the Kia EV6, which I've just come back from Spain, test driving that one. And I'm due to drive it again next week here in Ireland. And it is nothing short of brilliant. But this is also very good. Now, this is the long-range dual motor one, I'm told this morning, and it's just, like I say, effortless. It's just an effortless drive. It's so easy to do stuff. Like, I can go in here and go into auto wipers. I can turn on a camera here to see what's going on behind us. Look, no, that's happening behind me now, so I can see out the back of the car all the time. See, this car's about to overtake. It's a Volvo. Just going up on the inside of us there. And because of the autopilot, I don't really, like, all of my attention doesn't have to be out the front the whole time. And I know that seems counterintuitive to drivers out there, but realistically, that's the way life is going to be soon. We're going to be in electric cars that semi-autonomously drive themselves like that one does. But there it is now, it just knocked off. It can be oversensitive, I find, Tesla. I just feel even a smallest little tremble on the steering wheel, it knocks it off. But auto cruise control is still on. It's just not keeping me in a lane. That's all that's actually going off there is the auto steer system. So I can go dut, and the auto steer comes back on again. Also in here I have heated seats. I have dual zone climate control. Climate control in a Tesla, second to none. This has HEPA filters and all I put into them as well. So it does filter out basically every toxin that's in the world. Although I struggle to believe that one from time to time. But for the most part, this is actually a very, very nice car to drive along in. Now, if I don't touch anything, so I'm going to be hands near the steering wheel here, it stays going and will keep me on the road and on the lines all the way. Eventually, I get a blue line that will flash on top of the screen here to remind me that I'm not touching the steering wheel. Now, it says applied slight turning force. There's the blue now. It's popped up. If I don't touch it, just leave it alone. Still steering. Starting to remind beeping now. There's some audible alarms now. Still haven't touched it. An audible alarm again. More audibles. Still going though. Oh, there it goes. Auto steer unavailable for the rest of the drive. Look at that. For the rest of this drive, hold steering wheel to drive manually. Now it's punishing me now. Look, it's taking the auto steer away from me now. So like a spoiled child, Tesla's going, no, no, no. You're a naughty boy. You may not allow the car to drive. Good job I didn't die of a heart attack or something. So that's what happens when you don't touch the steering wheel. Eventually it just punishes you and tells you you can't do it. Now if I was driving all the way out to Belfast here, that would be like, hold on a second. No auto steer for the rest of this drive. What's the story with that? What would I have electric cars? My top 3. I'm going to give you my top 3 electric cars currently, right? This is an easy, make it easy for you. Currently in number 1, pending a full review, pending spending some good time with the car and understanding all there is to know about it, is the Kia EV6. In second place was the Skoda Enyaq. Now this is it. I'm leaving out price, by the way. Don't start cribbing and crying about 20 grams. Don't crib and cry about prices. I'm just thinking about the car itself, the car as a car. I would be happy in this. I'd be happier in an EV6, but I'd be happy enough driving around this. The main bugbear I have is there's no heads-up display in this car, and the Kia feels special inside. The interior design, the interior fit and finish just feels like a very special place to drive around in. This feels a little bit more utilitarian, I feel. It feels like a Tesla, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but it just doesn't have quite the same quality feel. Build quality, 100% great. Wish that was a wireless charger. That is speccable as a wireless charger, by the way. Door bins and things inside, 100%. Tons of room in here. Once you get into the Tesla experience, I don't think you want to back out of it. I think once you start driving a Model 3 or Model Y or X or S or any of them, you'll probably stick with Tesla after that, because this is very easy to get used to, this navigation system, and it's just very clever. Obviously this is software, higher version software. It's the latest software they've got in their system. It's very good. No crashes, no nothing. Everything works. Like, everything works first time as well. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've hit the subscribe button at this point. Please hit the subscribe button. But if you haven't, well then you know where you can go. Then it's fine. You just come for the Tesla review and you leave. But thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And until the next time, I'll see you on the far side of Dunleary, which is just up here.